Reyes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got a couple of areas that I want to question, but I also would like to associate myself with the comments made by members of this committee in thanking you for your work on behalf of this country. We all appreciate that very much. There are a couple of things that I want to pursue. First of all, when we talk about the testimony here and when Ms. Hill talks about the CIA officer that was detailed to FBI headquarters, learned about the Moussaoui investigation, and talked about the issue of whether or not the Chechen rebels were a recognized foreign power or not, in all that context. I'd like to know from the FBI headquarters agent, what lessons learned have we come away with this? In other words, is the FBI putting together a new program to train, perhaps in concert with the General Counsel's office, to clear up these kinds of issues, make recommendations for clearing up legislatively some of the areas that need to be clearly redefined or further defined? Is the FBI working on a comprehensive package to do that?
We've raised this issue of this foreign power and specifically the fact of how Moussaoui somewhat eludes the present legislation. I know Mr. Bowman testified in open session before Senate Judiciary on this, and I think it's an issue that the FBI clearly recognizes is a significant problem with regard to individuals that we can't fit into that specific foreign power issue, and that needs to be explored more.
So is your answer that yes, the FBI is working on a comprehensive lessons learned package, or what is the FBI doing?
Are you saying, is the question in terms of a legal fix, or is it?
In all of the above, all the things that we've learned so far from we know now that the FBI is stuck in a technology void in terms of communications and analysis and all of those things. My question is, are we in a mode of lessons learned and moving forward, have a checklist of, okay, by such and such a time we're going to make this proposal for this equipment, for this capability, those kinds of, because we're hearing the field agents frantic.
I'm just not in a position to answer that. I think that's clearly a question for the director.
So from your level, nothing?
No, there's clearly reforms underway. We have already addressed getting analytical resources in the door, and that's going forward. Clearly, we're trying to improve our means of communication with CIA and others. I don't want to indicate in any manner, though, that it was bad. I think the relationship with CIA has been excellent in the last few years, and I'm speaking as a person who's been in this program for 13 years. It's been very good. Could it be better? Yes, it could be better. Okay. I think the technology will fix some of that.
All right. For the Phoenix agent, you stated that the 99 incident aboard the U.S. domestic flight increased your suspicions about aviation-related terrorism. Can you elaborate on the incident and why you thought it was significant?
Well, on November 19, 1999, two individuals that originated their flight from the Phoenix metropolitan area were acting suspiciously on an America West Airlines flight bound for Washington, D.C. The plane put down in Columbus, Ohio, because the flight attendants suspected or observed one of the individuals play with the cockpit door of the plane while it was in flight. The individuals were detained at Columbus, interviewed by the Columbus, Ohio Police Department, FBI Cincinnati, and subsequently released after their interviews, and they were allowed to proceed on their trip. They were heading to Washington to attend a conference that was being put on with or by the Saudi Arabian Royal, the embassy. The individuals, within a day or two of them being released, in conjunction with the Council for American Islamic Relations in Washington, made a statement accusing the police department, the FBI, and America West Airlines of racially profiling them. and they actually were on broadcast on CNN and other TV news networks around the country. I can't get into the specifics concerning one of those or either of those individuals. Both are pending intelligence investigations.
But the
I
offshoot
can address further details on both of those guys in a closed hearing.
okay. But the offshoot of that was that, did anybody pursue an investigation or drop the?
Post 9/11, in a post 9/11 world, I went back and looked at that as possibly being some sort of dry run, and it's currently under investigation. And again, I can get into specific details on that in closed hearing.
Okay, and the last thing I want to say very quickly is, if it was significant, you didn't include it in your communication. What,
Good question. You know, I can't account for why I didn't include that in there. I wasn't, it's a good question. I can't answer that, sir.
thank you, Mr. Chairman.